John, I suppose it's been a difficult few weeks for the club in recent times, both on and off the park. And how was that? How do you feel about that in the club itself? You know, players, management.
Yes, I suppose. Look, everyone knows that we have, we had a meeting last week, and we had to, try and draw a line. Everyone knows the influence Ollie's had on the club over the last number of years, and he's very close to everyone. And so I suppose we went to the group last week. We're in the running of the season. We have a massive game, a quarter-final of the Cup on Sunday, which we're all looking forward to live on TV. Obviously, Pat's, well favourites. Obviously, our run in the last while hasn't been good. We understand that, but at the same time, there's a brilliant bunch of players, brilliant group. They're giving everything they can for the club, and while sometimes we might have lost a bit of confidence, there's no better way than going to a cup tie quarter-final on Sunday, and despite being underdogs, putting up the Pats and giving our best shot. And that's probably what we've been focusing on since we came back out of talk on Sunday evening, was on Monday getting together, making sure that this week we make sure that we're all totally focused on a massive game ahead.
And if I can refer back about a couple of games, the two last home games you played against, was it Derry and Shamrock Rovers, 0-0 draw and the 2-1 losses that transpired, which but I mean, they were two very, very strong performances from the Galway United point of view. I mean, there was certainly no short of effort, commitment. Okay, maybe just the goals weren't flowing. So I suppose that's sort of echoing what you're saying. The commitment, the passion and the honesty is still there from the players.
I think you'll always get that from us, but I suppose, look, it is a ruthless league. You can see that the games are really, really competitive in every game, because the top of the 10 teams is, obviously some teams have bigger spots than others, but at the same time, every game, once every team is on it, they're always close games. And you can see even last Sunday's game, why Shelburne are, absolutely fantastic team. You can see why they won the league last year, but better this year, they qualified the Conference League. But still, to be fair, 10 minutes to go, it was 0-0. Controversial penalty, we felt it wasn't. They got the decision, and sometimes it goes that way. But while they dominated the game, and Brendan made two very really good saves during the match, we were still allowed 10 minutes to go, and so every game has been very tight, and there's no question of effort and honesty from our team. I suppose, look, ultimately you have to put the ball in the back of the net. It's create more chances, and certainly in the last number of weeks our performances have been much better, but at the same time we haven't got the results. But I think the one thing about a cup game is that everyone knows on Sunday it finishes, there's no replays. Possibly could go to extra time, they possibly could go to penalties. It's all in the day. And while St. Pat's, are the big favourites, and that's understandable, at the same time, the last two games they won have been back up, and whether you have won the last 5 or lost the last 5 games, the cup is always different. From my experience, it's a different week, it's a different type of game, because everyone knows it's on the day, and we've been discussing that during the week. And I suppose the other side to that, as well as Mike, is we have beaten St. Pat's twice this year, so all the time when we were in probably better form, but still at the same time, our focus this week is just the league is out of the way at the moment. It's all focused on cup.
Yeah, I wish they had another reference. They have 2 games, the 2-1 win, the 3-1 win, and they were impressive performances. The last side, I know goals have been a little bit hard to find in recent times, and we've had to get clean sheets in 5 of our last 6 games. But you're the last team to put 3 goals past Pats this season. Also, you played them in Richmond area in the league. I know you were 2-0 down at the break, but I remember the second half, you absolutely pounded them for the second half, but just the ball wouldn't go in the back of the net either. So I think the ability is there to pick your game up and take the contest very much to Pat.
I know, of course, but it's the games between us and them have always been very, very close. But I think the games with in this league, you don't see big scoring. But the most important thing this week, it's a cup tie. It's different to a league game, and there's no fallback. If you lose, you're gone. And I suppose for us, our focus this week is making sure can we work as hard as we can all week to see can we give our best performance or a really strong performance. And we believe if we do that, we have a brilliant chance But at the same time, we understand that if we don't, you don't. But it's, and we know the strengths of Pats. But certainly it's a game that we really look forward to.
Obviously, with the Galway United are in the lower regions of the league, and obviously in a little bit of relegation difficulty. And only you as a manager, Brendan, who's involved, can answer the question that, sometimes people will say, oh look, they're better off out of the cup, they're better off not involved in it, concentrate in the league, let's stay in the Premier League. Is there a defined answer to that?
I always want to be in the cup. There's never, I could never see the logic if someone says, you're better off not being in the cup. Absolutely not. This week you can see all the lads understand it's not the league, it's the cup. It's a 90-minute game, possibly with extra time and penalties, and it's a chance to get to a semi-final to get you to the National Stadium, and it's a fantastic occasion. Brendan has been there on a number of occasions. Luckily, I've been there on a number of occasions, and but at the same time, we know we're up against it. But the cup is different. It's got a totally different feeling to the league. It's different mental preparation, because everyone knows it's the result at the end of the day, and either you're left in it or you're gone. And so our league, for what it hasn't been good in the last while, this week won't have a bearing because it's a different game.
Just player-wise, fitness-wise, availability-wise, how are you fixed for the weekend?
Yeah, we have a number of lads that are probably at knocks, and we'll have to gauge it later. The fact the game is Sunday from Friday gives us an extra 2 days, but Buckley and Slevin have been struggling, Hickey is struggling, McCormick we're hoping to be back to full fitness, and other than that I think Keohane is a knock, but I hope that at least whether they'll all make it, I'm hoping that most of them make it.
Okay. Brendan, by the sound of that, you could almost get a game outfield with all those knocks and injuries, but I'm sure you're looking forward to returning to your old hunting ground in Richmond.
Yeah, look, I've done it a number of times over the years. It's not a surprise, but it's like John says, it's a massive cup game. It's an opportunity for us to get into a semi-final, and that's the excitement of it for me. Like it's not who we play. It's looking to progress to the next round.
Obviously, Galway United are where they are in the league table, which obviously poses difficulties. You've played with teams that's won leagues and cups, etc., etc. I didn't check, or I don't know how much time you would have spent maybe in the lower regions of the league. Is it difficult or different? I should say, rather than difficult. Of course, it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's only difficult if you let the outside noise affect you, and we don't do that at this club. From day one with John, from my first day, Finn Harps away in the first division, it was don't look at the league table, don't worry about that, just worry about performances, and the results will come once the performances are there, and once you can walk off the pitch having given everything for the football club, I mean what will be, but we're working kind of harder than ever. We're back together, tighter than ever to bring success to this football club, and this is a new competition for us to do that.
Well, I remember I had a chat with you, did a little piece with you after that game in Richmond, and I sort of quote you, and you apologise in case it was went out on radio. You said you have a no bollocks operation system and thing where everybody backs everybody, plays for everybody, and I'm sure that's still very, very much, there's no superstars, that's still very much to the core of the club.
It has to be. That's what we're built on. Hard work, humility, giving everything for the football club, and that's the culture that was here when I got in. I bought into it straight away, and look to retain that, and that's just who we are. That's just what we're based on now.
Obviously, Pat's obviously a good quality side. Obviously, you fancy your chances just as much as they do. It's a one-off game, as John said. It's a cup game. Everybody wants to get through to the next round.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone who's left in the competition now. I mean, and I asked John about would you rather be out of the cup and concentrate on that? Why would you want to? Why would you want to be out of the cup? It's an opportunity to get to a semi-final. It's an opportunity to get in progress and maybe look at European football. But that's 2-3 games away. Like I said, Pats are really good side. They're in good form, but it's a cup competition. There's been numerous. I wouldn't even call it an upset if we were to win on Sunday, because the games have been so close, and we have come out on top against them this year already. So look, it is a massive opportunity for us to get to a semi-final. It's going to be a really, really difficult game, and we're under no illusions as to the task ahead of us. But you know, we'll be ready to go out and you know, get a result.
Just looking back on your own career, what would be your FAI Cup highlight?
It probably winning the cup in 2014 personally, but that's like I've said in numerous interviews, that's like it's not for reflecting upon as I'm still a player. That's for many years down the road. When I do finish, probably another one would be the cup final 2022, and being stood out on the pitch, listening to my son stood beside me singing the national anthem at the top of his voice. You know, so these are the small little memories that the cup offers you, you know, and it's something we're looking to make more memories this year.
Of course, I mean, John, you've obviously won the cup as well. It was obviously the same reflection from your own point of view of just the final and the day and the winning and what goes all around the package.
I suppose Mike look at with the quarter final come Sunday. As Brendan says, there and there things you could talk about, you know, down the road and whatever. And for me, it's like, you know, we're a long way from that. Cup final, the quarter final is against a team that are hot favourites on Sunday, and we know we need to be at it. But the good thing is that that's in the background if you can get that far, but we're a long way from that yet. So for me, it's making sure that all week that the lads keep their focus. You know, when we cross the line on Sunday, we're there to give our best performance, and if we are, we have a great chance, and we know that. If we're not, we won't. And but so we've just concentrated this week that it's the next step, and if we outperform on Sunday, we'll be out. So there's no point about taking out the B with them.
Of course, thanks, John.
Thanks, mate. Do you want to ask questions up? I'll just go.
For John, with John Daly coming in, and obviously he was spent a significant time in Pats and won the cup there and all. Do you feel that adds a bit extra to you, gives you a bit extra boost heading into the weekend and the game next Friday as well?
Yeah, I suppose it's probably the element of that Stephen being the manager of Pats and myself, in the sense that we went back to back 4 cup finals in a row, and he was a manager of Dorking, I was a manager of Cork, and we've all moved on. And the last manager to win the cup with Pats was John Daly. So I suppose there's intriguing stories there. So I suppose the one thing is, you know, John knows Pats well. I think he was there between manager and assistant probably 3 years. Brendan, was it? Probably 3 years, you know. So he knows Pats well. He knows all the setup. But look, Stephen is there. That he's his own team now, and he's his own way of doing it. And plus the fact he's under pressure himself as well, because look, they expect to win trophies, and they've invested hugely, which is brilliant for our league, that there's huge investment coming in. But at the same time, you know, they're hungry to win trophies as well. So and they probably feel it's a glorious chance for them, because being at home and everything. But to say as well, you know, we understand the situation, and we understand that, you know, we're not a bad team. We know that we play well. We can beat anyone, which we've proven. But at the same time, you know, because our form has been good, you know, people are saying that it's probably making Pats more favourites, and we understand that. But it's up for us to make sure that this week we get our act together and that we're focused, and we'll bring a massive progress as well, which will be great. And you know, and the cup is always an element of shock, and as Brendan says, while it wouldn't be a massive shock, certainly people don't expect us to win. So within the group, we must make sure we're at our best.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, good, thanks. John, you mentioned 4 cup finals there in a row, and obviously yourself and Steve were coming up against this weekend. Like, has that run been on your mind at all this week?
What run is that now, Sean?
The four cup finals in a row against Steve.
No, other than it was a fantastic period of time in both our careers. None at all. We're both at different junctures. We're both still trying to win matches. So not really, you know, I have a good idea of the way Steve operates. He probably has the same idea of the way I operate. So John Daly's thrown into the mix as well, which is interesting. So yeah, no, I think it's both we moved on different teams, different clubs, different styles. So and at that particular time when we were both playing each other, we were both neck and neck. Whereas at the moment, I suppose probably Pats are doing better than we are, and they've been in European football. We haven't. We've come up from the first division, did well last year, trying to stay up this year. So we're different junctures from a team point of view, but it is a cup game, and we're there's not much between us, but we're both playing well.
You mentioned there's not much between you there. I think it's 2 wins each in the last 4 meetings. So, as you said, anything can happen in the cup game. So, you expect another tight game?
Yeah, well, look, it's on TV. Be a full house. We're bringing a lot of supporters with us, big crowd, a lot of optimism this side, hoping that we can play well. I suppose the fact that we have our games between each other have been very tight would indicate that. You can never tell, a decision could go against someone gets sent off, you never know, but based on the games between us in the last 2 years, they've all been very, very close, so you imagine that it would be a tight game. Yeah,
and just lastly for me, speaking to John Daly at Tolka on Sunday evening, obviously it's been a very difficult couple of weeks for the club. Could I just ask how's yourself and how is the dressing room?
Yeah, we're sitting good. It's all obviously difficult when you lose someone, particularly someone that was very close to. But the most important thing, the only way you can repay a person like Ollie would be what he would want is the team to perform well and try and get positive results. And ultimately, what it was a shock to the players in terms of everyone knew he was sick, but I suppose ultimately when someone passed away, it's still a shock. At the same time, look, the best way to represent a person like Ollie, who had been very close to the squad for the last 3 years, is to go and give good performances. And last Sunday we worked hard. We knew we were under pressure, and but we worked really, really hard. And the lads gave everything. And on another day we certainly possibly could have got the draw. But this is just a different week, and we spoke about the cup being just that one-off game, and making sure that that when we get to Pats that we play as well as we can. And if we do that, we always have a chance.
Cheers, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We just have Michael left online here if you have any questions. You can fire away.
Yes, please. Thanks. Hi, lads.
I kept you to last, Michael.
Yeah.
We didn't want to rush you in. Is that okay?
The best of the oldest to last.
Are you that old?
What?
Are you that old?
I'm past 50 now.
Yeah, man. Jesus, the black hair is still good, Michael, huh?
Happens to us all. Listen, my condolences on Ollie as well. I haven't been speaking to you. Could I just ask you, is what Drogheda did last year any sort of an inspiration for a team like Galway, given that came up and it's been they struggled whatever last season and they won the cup?
Yeah, I don't think we look at it that way. I think, to be fair to Drogheda, they sorted themselves out, and from the break last year turned their season around and stayed up, and obviously that fantastic win in the cup, and have kicked on from that. And I suppose for us, Michael, really it's the last couple of years, we all know the history of Galway. It's been down and down in the other division, and 2 playoffs, lost, won the first division 2 years ago, came up last year, won the first division, got to the cup semi-final, got mid-table last year, were competing really well all the way through, and we knew at the start of the season, this year again with the teams in the Desmond, you're going to be in that battle of 4 or 5 teams, and at the start of the season everyone said who's going to be down at the bottom. No one predicted Cork, no one predicted. I don't know who predicted. They're all sitting in the mix. It was going to be 4 or 5 teams, but I suppose ultimately, from my experience in the cup, is that Drogheda did well. I don't think it's Drogheda are still there. They could win the cup again, but from our point of view, it's you probably look at teams that are left, Sligo, Cork, they all think, you know, their name might be on the cup. You know, it's that way. But I suppose from our point of view, we just have to keep focus. We know where we are. We know how difficult it is. But at the same time, we've proven over the last number of years we're a very good team. We've honest players. We've fantastic supporters, and we know that when we play very well, we can match anyone, and that's the beauty about it. And despite the fact that we haven't been at a good run, despite the fact that Ollie passed away, you can't feel sorry for yourself. You have to go out and you know, you can make excuses. You have to get back to refocusing yourself and individually and collectively making sure that as a group together that we're clear about what we can do. And if we're on that wavelength, then you can beat anyone, and we know that. So this week it's all about refocusing, making sure that in a cup tie where at the end of the day someone's going to be knocked out, that we're focused for the game of Sunday.
Sure. I know you said Pats are hot favourites, and they probably haven't had the season that they want up to now that they would have wanted. Do you think that makes them hungrier on Sunday?
I don't know. They've won a couple of games in Europe, so for Money in the Bank they've put away probably €750,000 extra, so they're probably happy about that. You know, because finances is a big taste of the game, but I'm sure from a supporter's point of view, they do want to win a trophy, and obviously they're not going to win the league. They're battling to see can they get into Europe, which is going to be a fascinating run in. And I suppose the cup is probably the outlet where they're feeling to win the cup, they're in Europe. So from that point of view, yeah, but I suppose it's the pressure of this game and this job, you know. So they're under pressure, and but as well, I suppose we feel here we're under pressure as well because we want to get results, and we'd love to get to the semi-final cup.
And I know you've said that the cup final is a long way away, but is that European dimension, you know, on your minds, because there's so much money that's huge for any club, obviously. But is that at the back of your mind? You know, be lucky to get there and get back to Europe.
Look, I think if you're doing the interview before the cup final, you can talk about that. But at the moment, we're a long way from it. The most important thing for us is that you know, you can't start dreaming at this stage. It must. The reality is we have a massive game on Sunday, and we haven't been going as well as we want to do. But you know, we've concentrated. I keep saying, I don't know. We've been just talking about this week in the last couple of days, refocusing, giving a performance on Sunday, or the supporters for as themselves, and to make sure that when we leave the pitch on Sunday night, we play our best. And if we do that, we think we have a chance.